Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Wednesday. This is Gigi getting my 1,000 steps in this morning because this is the day that the Lord has made, and we're rejoicing and we're glad in it. Hey, yesterday this time I had to talk to you from my car because it was raining cats and dogs. It looks like it's getting ready to rain again, but it's a better morning today, and they say we will probably get some rain later on today. So I'm going to get these steps in. What a difference a day makes. But good morning, good morning, good morning. Well, we made it to the middle of the week. Oh my goodness. And I've got a gem nugget for you today as I was reading our Daily Bread devotional. And their title is Bring It to God. Whatever it is, bring it to God. And my gem nugget is I'm going a little bit further. I'm saying spread all your cards on the table before God. Spread all your cards on the table before God. Well, I was reading the story today about Hezekiah, and the word spread just stood out to me because in the 19th chapter of Second Kings, it tells about King Hezekiah. Now, a lot of you may be more familiar with King Hezekiah when he had gotten a message that he was going to die. He got a message say, "Get your house in order, and you are going to die." And Hezekiah, in the 20th chapter of Second Kings, he said he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the God, saying, "I beseech thee, O Lord, remember how I have walked before you in truth and with a perfect heart." Because King Hezekiah was one of those kings that did what was right in the sight of the Lord. I don't know if you joined me last week. I talked about another king. His name was King Manasseh, and he did what was evil in the sight of the Lord at first until the Lord had to bring him down, and then he changed, and then he started doing what was right. But King Hezekiah, he started out as a good king, and he remained a good king because just a chapter before this chapter where the messenger told him he was going to die, and he turned, he said, "I've done what was right in the sight of your eyes, God." And a lot of you know this story because later on, because God heard him, he made the messenger turn around before he could even get out of the temple and came back. The Hezekiah said, "Oh, I've heard your prayer, and guess what? I'm going to add 15 years to your life." Now, a lot of you have heard that story before, but right before, when Hezekiah said that he had done what was right in the sight of the Lord, chapter 19, the chapter right before, can tell you how he did right before the Lord. And there was a time that army was getting ready to come up against Hezekiah, the Assyrians, and he had gotten news, and this is what it said in um, Hezekiah, Second Kings, the 19th chapter, starting with the 14th verse. Hezekiah received the letter from the messengers. Here we go, getting these messages again, and read it. Then he went up to the temple of the Lord and spread it out before the Lord. And Hezekiah prayed to the Lord, "Lord, the God of Israel, enthroned between the cherubim, you alone are God over all the kingdoms of the earth. You have made heaven and earth." That when he said he spread it out. A lot of times, we need help, even when we go to even people around us like counselors or pastors or what, whatever it is. But sometimes we don't just lay it all out. So you have to be careful though when you go to people for help. But you can be confident that if you go to God, you can trust Him. He'll keep your stuff in confidence because there's some people that you go to. You better be careful who you share information with. But God, we know that we can go to Him. And when you go to Him, you need to spread it all out on the table. You know, when we talk about spreading your cards on the table, we think about a card game and spreading them all out so it can be seen. And in life, that's what it also means. You know, it stands for being completely honest and open about your intentions, plans, and feelings. And that's what you need to do when you go to God, most of all. Just spread your cards all out on the table. Because when you spread it all out before God, hey, the thing we know is that He will listen. He will listen. And you know what happened with Hezekiah when he spread it all out and just was honest and open with God? It said that he said, "You alone are God over all the kingdoms and on the earth." And he said, "Now, Lord, our God, deliver us." And guess what? You know, the Lord heard his prayer, and that very night, God destroyed the Assyrian army. Won't He do it? But you got to spread all your cards out on the table. Spread it out. Be open with God, even if you can't really be open with people on earth, but spread it all out before God. I love the way this ends here. It says, whatever you face today, spread it out before God as you present your request to God. And it tells us in Philippians to just present our requests and supplications to the Lord. Guess what? He hears you. Do you hear what I say? He hears you and is with you. You can rest in His hands as you experience His wisdom, His love, and His hope. But you got to spread it all out. There's a song that used to be out by a girl named Jessica Reedy, and she said, "Put it all on the altar. Put it all on the altar." And part of the song, she said, "All your burdens, bring them on down, put them on the altar, and you will get an answer." You know why? Because He hears. Because He hears. But you got to lay it all out. You got to spread all your cards out on the table. You got to be open. You know, that's what happens a lot of times when people go to counselors. You know, if you trust the counselor or trust the person that you're going to see, you need to lay it all out, spread it all out. And that's how you can get the help. So most importantly, spread all your cards out on the table before God, and you'll get an answer because He hears. And you know, even when Hezekiah later on, when he got that message, he laid it out all out on the altar, and he didn't even ask God. You know, he didn't even ask God to save his life. All he said, you know, remember how I walked with you in truth, and I did what was right before you in the eyes of the Lord. He just laid it all out, how he felt about it. And then it said he wept sore. And the thing about that one, he didn't, like I said, he didn't even ask God to save his life. He just laid it out there. He said, wait a minute, I did what was right. And I love Hezekiah. And guess what? Gosh, God did exceedingly and abundantly. Didn't just add a few days to his life or a few months or a few years. He added 15 years to his life. Oh my goodness. Why don't you try spreading it all out before God? When you come into situation, that's like Jessica read this song, and you know that word, say all your burdens, bring them on down and put them at the altar. Spread all your cards out on the table. And I guarantee you, God will hear you. I know it. I'm a witness. I have literally spread myself before the altar in prayer. And I saw God do it. I saw God do it. Oh my goodness. Over and over again. But you got to be honest. You got to be open. Spread all your cards out on the table. It's like you spread cards out on the gaming table so everybody will see. Spread them out before God. I think that's going to help somebody today. All right, all right, all right. Oh, don't forget to subscribe to the Gym Nugget channel so you can get your nugget, especially Monday through Friday. Get your nugget of encouragement, your nugget of inspiration, and your instruction, nuggets of instruction. I love the daily bread as I share these nuggets with you. Oh my goodness. We're just on the edge of 50,000. And you know, I'm going to make a big announcement when we do hit 50,000 subscribers. But we're 49.9 something. So, hey, we might hit it today. Oh my goodness. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for everyone that watches around the world, especially our biggest block of subscribers are from Kenya. I see your comments. I do see your comments. And across the United States. Don't forget to get your Walking 1K with Gigi shirt. Oh my goodness. I would love for you to get your shirt to remind you of the benefits of walking and walking with me and getting at least those 1,000 steps in each day. There's something else. Some of you have been asking about my little garden box. I tell you, my plants have been coming up so nicely. Pastor did put in my little poles for my string beans, so they'll continue to climb up. I can't wait to see those first beans because y'all know I'm a beginner. And like I told you, I had a reputation of killing cactus. Can you believe that? But anyway, my plants are growing nicely. Got some more strawberries off my strawberry plant, and then my string beans. And now it looks like the cucumbers are coming in second, and look like the peppers might be last. Never know. But I am so excited. But some of you have been asking about the box. My husband makes those. My husband, Pastor JG, makes those. He just did one last week. And if you're in this area, he'll make them for you and deliver it to you like he did last week. And just message me and message us, and he'll tell you the cost and everything for that. Because you know, the way things are going, we all may need to be raising our own food. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Talking about tariffs and talking about shortages of things on the shelves and everything. So we may all have to grow our own food like they do in Africa. So, you know, if you like a garden box, you get started, because if I can do it, anybody can do it. So if you like that garden box, I tell you, he'll do that for you. Just let us know, message me, or through Facebook, or some of you know how to message me. So let me know. So my goodness. But as I end up today, don't forget, whatever you have, issues that you have, bring them to God. And guess what? This is what you need to do. Spread all your cards out on the table before God, because he listens, he hears, and he's able to do something about your situation. You be blessed. Bye.